Good afternoon, sir. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
My audio is clear?
Yes, very clear. Very clear.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sir.
My audio is clear?
Yes, very clear.
Audio now muted. Mute by audio.
Sir, also, are we supposed to keep the camera on during the meeting?
No need. Whoever speaks, their camera should be up.
Okay.
So today's guest is Soumya sir, right?
Yes. We are going live, so keep silent at the moment, okay? We are going live on YouTube at the moment. So, good afternoon, all Toastmasters and Cavaliers. Welcoming you all for today's meeting. Today, July 4, the first Sunday of July. We have a very distinguished guest with us. Most of you know Dr. Homer Mukji, who is a pioneer in making us a big reader by providing accessible books. Dr. Homer Mukji is head of Bookshare and Penatech in India, Asia, and Africa. So Dr. Homer will talk to you today. As all of you know, reading is the foundation for a good speaker. So Dr. Homer, you're welcome. Please start your speech.
Thank you, Ram. Ram, how much time do we have? Ram? Ram, what is the time limit? Ram, can you hear me?
20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Okay.
15 to 20 minutes. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this little short meeting. I do see a lot of familiar names amongst the participants. Lots of young children, lots of young students who have been with us during this little journey during the pandemic. Lots of new faces have also joined us today. So welcome to all of them also. Now, as Ram pointed out, today we are just going to talk about reading. And today, when we are going to talk about reading, we're just going to understand why reading is important. And especially for persons with blindness. So I'll tell you a little story. And this is my own story. I had partial vision when I was young. I was able to read with glasses. And I had this passion for reading, and I would take a novel, take a magazine, and start reading in the evening. And probably throughout the night till I would finish that novel, I would keep on reading. That was the passion. But why was I reading? Because I was partially sighted. There were certain limitations. I could not see very far. I could not read billboards, that is, advertising hoardings. I could not read very small print. So there were limitations. And in those days, there was no internet also. I'm talking about years 1979, 80 to about year 2000, when probably most of you were never even there in this world. So there was very limited source of materials which I could read. There was very limited source of knowledge which I could get compared to my other sighted friends who could read everything, who could see everything, far, near, everything. They could see. In those days, we had limited television. And even in this television, there was only Doordarshan in those days. So from whatever they could see, even if they did not understand certain language, they picked up certain things and they enjoyed. For me, unless it was given to me in a print which I could read, knowledge getting was very difficult. But because I had this hunger to read, I wanted to read. I wanted to know about things around me. I wanted to know about the world around me. There was very little option that I had. Compared to that, today, you have loads and loads and loads of options. When I started my career as a physiotherapist, again, the challenge had come that I had to read because physiotherapy is a very vast subject. There are lots of textbooks to read. There are lots of reference books. It's almost medical level reading that is required in the subject of physiotherapy. So when you have to get that amount of knowledge, you have to read. If you don't read, if you don't get that knowledge, if you don't get that experience of others, which they have shared with you in their books, you're left behind. As a student, probably you won't realize. But as you grow older, as you grow a little more mature, and when you have to interact with the society, that is the time when you start realizing that if you have not read, you will not be able to speak to people because you don't have the right knowledge. If you do not have the right knowledge, you feel shy to talk to people. You feel a little inferior. You lack the confidence. When this happens, people will not consider you as equal. In a field like physiotherapy, which I practiced for almost 27 years, you have to interact with so many people. You have to talk to medical professionals, your peers in the field. You have to discuss cases. You have to share and learn. And sharing and learning will always happen if you have the subject knowledge, deep subject knowledge. So again, reading becomes extremely important. Similarly, even if you grow a little more older, like your Uncle Ram, about to retire, when you go out and just sit with your friends, people will start talking, those who have read, they will start talking about certain issues around you. Today, the government announced this happened, that happened. Where does that knowledge come from? So that also comes from reading. Now, if you have not read, then again you become a silent spectator. So reading is a habit which starts with young age, and it is one of your best habits which goes along as you grow old, and it keeps you company and good company. Today, many people tell me they watch YouTube videos, but YouTube videos can never be substituted with reading. YouTube videos will give you a little bit of information. YouTube videos will give you just that little hint of knowledge. It cannot give you the depth of knowledge. Depth will only come when you read about the subject. It could be any subject. It could be of your choice. It could be just pleasure reading. It could be about some animals. It could be about nature. It could be about history, geography, about somebody's life. It could be anything. YouTube cannot never substitute reading. Another important fact with reading, and especially when it comes to the blind, is for those students who are studying in blind schools, they have extremely limited access to books because in most blind schools, there will be hardly a few textbooks which would be available in Braille. There will be a few audio books. But even as young students, you do not even have access to storybooks. Now, why are storybooks important? We need to understand because storybooks gives you an opportunity to fantasize, gives you, as a young boy or girl, the opportunity to live a life or experience something very different. Now, when you are not exposed to these storybooks, your understanding of the world around you becomes so limited, your vocabulary becomes limited, you don't learn new words, and hence you cannot express yourself. Storybooks can be in any language. It could be in your mother tongue, it could be in Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, Gujarati, whatever it is. The storybooks is an extremely important part in a life of a young child. And storybooks can go right from picture books to comics to your Harry Potters, all sorts of books can be there. And all these books generally will slowly create that appetite within you for more and more reading. Not till now, what was happening? Children were only forced to read their textbooks or listen to audiobooks. Now, when this happens and you do not have access to any other form of leisure reading or entertainment reading or reading that is going to give you any joy or fun, slowly you feel that reading is so boring. It's only textbook. It's only this, that. I don't like to read. So over a period of time, our young boys and girls have lost this habit of reading. They have lost the fun of reading. So it's so important that we, as young children, as young students, learn to read. We have to initially start reading the right things which will create an interest in you, things that will open up curiosity in your minds. You will start asking questions. And when you start asking questions to your own self, you will always try and find answers. And to find these answers, you will read. So again today, when Ram said about Bookshare, yes, this is one of the biggest gifts that have been given to any young blind student. Today you have right on your fingertips more than 10 lakh books from which to choose. 90,000 plus children's books from which to choose. 69 languages from which to choose. And the independence to read the way you want. If I look back in my lifetime, I never had this opportunity. I had to read painfully slowly, putting on big glasses, putting on a reading lamp, sitting next to the reading lamp, straining my eyes. But because I wanted to read, I just kept on doing that till I could read. Finally, my eyesight became worse and I could no longer read. So probably those were the worst days of my life when I could not read and the technology was also not there. Then came technology and that transformed my life. The day I got my hands on technology, which was way back in year 2000, 21 years ago, that was the day when I suddenly felt that I got my vision back. I could read. But again, getting technology in my hands was not sufficient because I had a computer with a screen reader, but there were no books in those days. There was no bookshare in those days. So I had to still wait for another 8 years till 2008 when Bookshare was first introduced in India. So actually, I can say my vision came back in 2008. In 2008, I was a member of Bookshare. I joined Bookshare as a reader and started reading books again. Loads of books. I was so thrilled that I could now put my finger on any book that I wanted, get that book and start reading it instantly. And I did not have to depend on anyone to read me the book. I did not have to wait for the book. I could read the book at 2 o'clock in the night. I just had to put my headphones on, start the computer, start reading. The same thing I do today with my smartphone. I put my headphones on, even in the middle of the night. I'll just open a book and start reading. Reading gives me two types of satisfaction. Obviously, it gives me knowledge, but it also provides me with new words, with new vocabulary. And these are the type of words that I'll read, learn, and then when I speak to people like you, I'll be able to express myself better. Today, my best sort of reading comes from I love to read biographies of people who achieved something in life. So I love to read about them, how they did it, how they managed, what type of struggle they went through, how did they manage to come out of that struggle. Other type of books that I love to read is history. I enjoy reading about past events. It could be anything. It could be history of India or history of the Second World War or history of ancient civilizations. Another type of reading that I enjoy is simple action novels. Sometimes you get bored with serious reading, so you want to read something which is light and entertaining. So I do read a lot of novels, and this is how I keep connecting with the world. Another type of reading that is extremely important for young students is current affairs. When I lost my vision, that was one thing I had completely been cut out of. Because the print material in the papers, the print size is so small, the actual size, that it's very difficult for people to read. So I could only read the big headlines, the headlines which were in bold and big, big letters. But the rest, I had to depend on somebody to read. But today I pick up my smartphone. There are various applications on which I can go read current affairs, be connected with the world, read in depth about different authors, about what their views are about different topics, about what is happening in today's world. Because that's also very important for everybody to know. I'm a very keen follower of cricket. It could be women's cricket, it could be men's cricket, especially the India. So I read about India cricket, what is happening, what are the new, which are the new players coming up. So all this information can only be gained when you read. So today, when you start this habit of reading, it is your first step towards becoming tomorrow's leaders. How? As I exactly explained. When you start reading, when you have knowledge, when you can express yourself and express about various topics in life, people start taking you seriously. They don't look at your disability. They start looking at you as a knowledgeable person. They respect you. Once you get that respect, that is your first step towards success. Once you are respected within your friend circle, within your community, people will take you seriously. They'll not say, "Arey, yaar, theek hai, bechara blind hai, jaane do usko." No, they'll say, "No, this boy, this girl has got lots of knowledge. Whenever he talks about different topics. He knows about what is happening around him. He can discuss in detail about different things." That is what makes you acceptable in the general society. That is what makes you into a leader. Because when you talk sense, people around you will keep shut and they will listen to you. That means people are giving you respect, people are giving you dignity. And that is what we want. But for all that to happen, there has to be some knowledge within your brain. And that knowledge will only come when you have this habit of reading. So I would be extremely happy if all of your listeners start taking this little advice seriously and make use of your Bookshare accounts. There are various categories on Bookshare. So go to different categories of your choice. There are 50 categories. If you like storybooks, go to children's books. If you like books about history, go to history books. If you like science books, go to science books. Every book has a synopsis. So read the synopsis. Synopsis means there is a little bit of description about the book. What is there in that book? Read that. If you find, yes, this is interesting, then download the book. Even if you download the book, if you read one or two chapters, if you feel that, no, this is not very interesting, it's fine. Bookshare is free. Download another book. But read. When you start reading, then discuss. Discuss amongst your friends. Oh, I read this. This book had that. In this book, they explained me about this. When you start discussing, see the change around. See how people will start looking up to you, respecting you. This is what has made my life today. Reading has completely changed my life. This can happen to you also. And it should happen to you. So take this opportunity. Don't leave it. Don't miss it. Use it. Right? And wish you all the very best. Back to you, Ram.
Thank you, Dr. Homia. Thank you very much. As you rightly said, today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. So the main intention behind Chakshumathi's Toastmaster and Gavel Club is also to bring out leaders from all sort of communities. It's an inclusive club where there are sighted students are there, or sighted professionals are there, also visually impaired or other physical disability. All of them are here together in this club, making this world inclusive. Thank you, Dr. Homia. Thank you for your well-narrated speech. Hope every Toastmasters and Cavaliers should read a book a week. Then we can see the difference when you do the toast. We can see the difference of the quality of your toast, the kind of word constructions, vocabularies. Or as I think few months back, in one of the program, our Gavalier Ashwin Sharvan said he wanted to become a seaman. It's a quite unusual dream. Nobody even thought about eventually in bed become a seaman. So from where that fantasy come to Ashwin Sharvan? Because he is a prolific reader. He reads a lot of books. He downloads from Bookshare and reads. Maybe from the Sinbad voyage, or maybe from some other stories of voyage. Ashwin might got that interest. So hope everybody will be taking Dr. Homia's advice as serious as possible and try to read one book a week. Okay, let me appoint Gabriel Kushinigam as today's Toastmaster of the day. Gabriel Kushinigam is from Bhopal and she will be the Toastmaster of the day. And Mr. Matthew Abraham will be judging the toast. Over to you, Kushi. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Oh, actually, I thought I was expected to be the speech evaluator of the day, but I'll take this
Both,
position.
you will be doing both jobs. Toastmaster does that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
So, okay, how am I supposed to start? Actually,
you can invite the toasters today.
okay. So today we have wait, let me just. Okay, so today we have a wonderful list of speakers. Today's first speaker would be Gavalier Kritskeria. Can we have him on here?
Yeah. Chris Kedia, you are on.
I'm there. I'm here, sir.
Yeah, open. I mean, your camera is correct.
Yes, sir. Now it's better.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead,
Okay, so can I start with the speech?
please.
Okay, thank you. So a very warm good afternoon to everybody. And my name is Chris, and I am studying in class 7. And I am from UP. Today I am going to deliver the speech on the topic pollution and its impacts on us and environment. So let's begin. So when things come to pollution, or when we talk about pollution, we got idea, we got some thoughts in our mind that pollution is a substance, but the substance which is harmful. So pollution is a harmful substance which is present in our planet Earth, on our planet Earth, and is increasing day by day. So today I will tell you something about pollution and its effects. So about pollution, as I already told you that pollution is a harmful substance. So pollution affects many things in our daily life as well, and it is very dangerous. There are many types of pollution like air pollution, land pollution, water pollution, and plastic pollution as well. So when we talk about land pollution, so it is a pollution which affects on land. And when we talk about water pollution, it is a pollution which affects water. And similarly, when we talk about air pollution, it is a pollution which affects air. And about, I also told you that plastic pollution. Plastic pollution is nothing but it is the increasing of plastic every day. Plastic is not good for our health. That's why we need to discourage the use of plastic, and we need to encourage other people as well to don't use plastic as much as possible. And pollution has many effects on everything, like human beings, animals, and plants. Somewhere. If we talk about water pollution, then pollution has effects in water. It pollution in water, the aquatic animals live, and the pollution affects them. Some aquatic animals die, and it is not good for their health. Similarly, the pollution affects the human health as well. In air pollution, the humans experience pollution by breathing. So that's why pollution needs to be stopped. And a major reason of increasing pollution is that the human beings are cutting trees day by day. That's why the trees can help us reduce pollution. But the trees are being cut every day. That's become the major problem. And if we do not cut trees, so the pollution can be reduced. It can give a big, big reason in the pollution, reduce pollution. So I request everybody as a each person to don't cut the trees and don't use the plastic, and keep our also request you to keep our planet clean. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
So may I continue? Ram sir, may I give my
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
give, yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
go ahead,
This
go
is my first time being a Toastmaster of the day, so
ahead.
that
Yeah,
is why. Yeah.
that is the
Okay.
way I am giving chances to everybody, like one by
Yeah.
one. So being
Yeah.
a Toastmaster, you are supposed to announce the next toaster, then you can evaluate also. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
You can request Mr. Matthew to evaluate also. So let us evaluate Fritz' speech.
Okay. So, Gavelier Kritkedia, your speech was about pollution and its effects on our environment, right? So, first of all, I would give your toast like a 9 out of 10, but I'll give you my reasoning for that too. Okay, so there are 4 ways I can evaluate your speech. It's the voice, the body language, the structure, and the content, right? Let's start off with your content. Your opening was effective and I was hooked immediately. Even if I've heard about pollution about a million times now, your speech just got me, excited about this topic again. And your language was descriptive, your content was informative, and the body of your speech was carried out perfectly. The only thing I would work upon your content was the ending of the speech. I thought it could be bettered, and also the grammar and sentence structure of your speech could be improved. Now, speaking of your body language, actually I couldn't evaluate your body language, but I can say this. You could be more expressive with your like hands and your shoulders, you know. And other than that, let's talk about your voice. Your voice was good. It was conversational. It almost felt like I was talking to a friend about, pollution and how it scares me and you, right? So that I really liked. And the only modification I would give you on the voice is that your volume could be a little bit more loud. But other than that, it was just great. And and from the last time I've heard you speak, you have definitely improved your, speaking skills. So I would conclude my evaluation here. And I would like to invite the next evaluator here,
Mr.
Toastmaster
Matthew
Matthew.
Abraham.
Yeah.
So yes, Gaveliers and Toastmasters, we have get together, and we are having a nice toast here. So, Mr. Krit, you have done a very wonderful job today. That it is evidential that you have improved from the last times. So it's very nice to see people who have saluted the part of the suggestions that they receive from Toastmasters into their lives and improve themselves. So that's a nice job that you have done. Congrats on that. So main notes, first of all, your relevance of the topic. It was very high. The topic is very highly promoted across the world, and especially as Canada and the United States are facing ever time high heats, including the Pacific regions. So this is a very important topic, and it's a very important thing to look at. But when coming to the demerits or drawbacks, first thing is that you should be selecting words wisely. That we always know, all of us know that air pollution is something that is regarding with air, and water pollution is something that is regarding to the water. So you don't have to specify and waste your time on that. In fact, you can be more constructive. And the second, it's a suggestion that you can move on to complex words, that on rather than choosing single and simple terms, you can now opt for better, concrete and complex structured sentences. You can refer online, you can go on the web, you can go to YouTube and see, because a way of lecturing, a way of delivering a discourse, and the way of rhetoric, oratorship is different. I mean, simply put, like when you do a speech, that is indeed different from when you talk to someone. So it should not give a feel that you were talking to someone. In fact, a speech should be a speech. So for that, you can include more modulation and more constructive sentences, which is called rhetoric. And then you can obviously come forward with more inflection, that is your body language. So that is it. Anyway, nice job. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Preet, you have improved a lot this time. I can find out that you have put a lot of efforts. Putting these efforts, I think you will become one of the best speakers of this club. Kushi, over to you.
Okay, so the next speaker we have on the line is Gavel Harsh Mittal. And can I have Harsh Mittal on the stage, please? Harsh Mittal, are you present in the meeting?
Yes, can I start?
Please
Yes.
go ahead.
My name is Harsh Mittal. I am studying 9th class. Today I am going to propose a toast on importance of computer. Computer is a basic need for all the students study in school, colleges, and it is also compulsory in our day-to-day life. Today there were more than 90% of jobs based on computer knowledge. Computer is very easy to handle by any person. Computer is used in school, colleges, institute, shops, businesses, hospital, and other public and private sectors of all country. Computer can make our work easy. Computer can save our time. Students that have low vision, blind, color blind can also use computer with new technology. With the help of computer we can make our difficult work easy. Computer can make difficult calculation very fast. Computer is handled by anyone. Computer is a basic language that was learned in 1 or 2 months. Computer With the help of computer we can also track anyone. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Gavalier Harsh Mittal, for your toast. So I will also be evaluating this. So again, I have 4 parameters on which I evaluate a toast usually. Now, the initial expression of your toast to me was that it sounded like somebody was reading out of a book about the, the benefits of computers, which I don't know. I feel like it could be a good thing, but while you're giving a speech, you want to assert yourself as an individual, right? So instead of reading from a book, maybe speak more from yourself. Don't read it out, right? And then other than that, I really liked that it was well structured though. So other thing I really liked about your toast was that it was loud and assertive. So I felt everything that you were saying, like it resonated within me. I really understood what you were saying. So, and now let's talk about the content. So I would first like you to not use computers again, and like you were using the word computer again and again in your speech, but maybe that could, I feel like maybe that could be reduced a bit, and instead of saying computer repeatedly, you can say it, right? And other than that, I like that you used uh, descriptive language to in your in the body of your toast. Now now I would like to talk about the opening of your toast. The opening of the toast was strong for sure. I liked that it was assertive. And other than that, I think the last thing I would like you to work on is your body language, because I think you were holding up your mic right there. I feel like that is fine, right? But you can maybe straighten up your shoulders a little bit, right? So maybe I feel like a posture is a very big thing when it comes to public speaking. So if you keep an open posture, people are open to listening to you. But other than that, I really liked your toast, and I would love to hear more from you, Gavel or Harsh Mittal. And over to the next evaluator, Toastmaster Matthew.
So yes, also wonderful toast again. My comments on this are pretty straightforward because, first of all, on the 4 elements of toast, already Madam Kushi have reflected on those topics. So I would rather reflect on few things that are very relevant while we construct a speech. First of all, when you look at a speech, you don't have to tell that we are all human beings. We are having eyes, we are having a nose, we are having a mouth, and we use eyes to see, we use nose to smell, and we use. No, that is not the obvious way. Because almost when we speak about computers, computers are normally familiar to all. It should be the responsibility of the orator to think and to raise up the thinking of the audience, that your audience should get something new. What's your point? What's your objective in delivering a speech? It's a very important thing. Why do you want to do a speech? What is the great message that you want to infiltrate into your audience? So based on that, you should add value to your speech by including more things, because when you speak about computers is a very big topic that can be dealt with its history, its future, its developments, and its influences in the present. So how have computers changed our lives? That's a very important topic. So you can reflect on to that and have a link with the audience. That's another point. Have a link with the audience. Where did you connect with the audience can be a great note. So first point, your objective should be clear. Secondly, your link with the audience should be clear. Thirdly, you should be providing some value. What is the value that you add to the society? Then your tone was strictly perfect. That was in a very constructive, because if you really want to become an orator, you are having the natural ability of a very good tone in you. So that can fetch you away, that can lift you away, and that can be the wings of your oratory career. So that's the notes, and hope that helps.
Okay. Thank you for the illuminating evaluation, Toastmaster Matthew. Now we have the third speaker of the day, who is Gavelier Ashwin Saravan. Ashwin Saravan, can I have you here, please?
Yes, ma'am. Am I visible?
Okay, I think you should, I think your mic is not.
Now? Is it, am I audible now?
Yes, okay. You may start your speech.
A very warm good afternoon to one and all. I am Ashwin, studying in grade A at Sharnalya Montessori School, Chennai.
I hope all of you are following the COVID protocols that are being announced in the news every day and are keeping safe during these troubled times. Today, I will be talking to you all about Kibo, which is an app useful for reading and also taking notes and also recording audios. This app is Kibo. So now let me tell you how to use the app. First, go to Google Play Store and type KIBO and download the app. After you have installed the app, give the necessary permissions. And you can see which are the necessary permissions because it will show you which are the mandatory permissions. After giving the allow button for all, you will have to sign in using your Google account. After signing in using your Google account, you will get the text to speech settings and like where you can set all the languages and the respective PTS engines. After this, you will be allowed to use the app. Keeper was released in July 2019. And now, recently, they have made new changes. They have developed Keyboard version 3.0. Version 3.0 has many more new features than version 2.9. For example, they have two plans now. One is the basic plan and the other is the prime plan. The basic plan is for free and will always be. In the basic plan, you will be able to capture photos and also take down notes. And also in the prime plan, you will be able to capture photos online, while in the basic plan, you will be only able to capture photos offline. So those are the features which are in the prime plan. Kibo helps an individual and all blind students and low vision students to scan their books and also take down notes like any other sighted student. By using Kibo, any student can do their work independently. Now let me tell you about the features of Kibo. First, when you open Kibo, there is a Kibo has its own user. Then after that, it is the My account. This feature gives you the details about the current plan and the validation details. After you have read all this, you can move on to the capture and read. If you are going to scan a book, you can just capture the photo and send it off across to your Gmail and begin proofreading the book in your computer. After that, you can read your documents. You can read your documents. You can read your TXT, PDF, docs, and other and audio documents using keyboard. By doing this, you will be able to read your own documents independently. And then after that, you can take down your own notes. For example, in a classroom setup, if you are going to take down notes while your teacher is dictating, you can take it down through keyboard and you can read the notes whenever you want to. And also, another feature of keyboard is audio recording. Audio recording helps users to record their file and save it. But unfortunately, the audio recording option is currently unavailable for Android 11 phones. And then after that, you have the settings. So where you can increase the font, where you can decrease the font, and you can change the translator setting, you can go to the text to speech settings, and all these are there. And then next is the help info. In this help info, there are many tutorial videos which will help you to understand about keyboard. These tutorial videos are YouTube videos which give you a demonstration of how to use the app. Then is the more info where you can contact keyboard if you have any questions. That's all. Those are the features of the mobile application of keyboard. Now I'm going to talk to you all about the keyboard device, which you can use through your computer. Keyboard device is like a table lamp when you open it. You can connect it to your laptop and begin taking pictures by going to the website keyboard.trestlabs.com. After you have taken a picture of the page, you can download this and keep it as a Word document. After that, you can flip over the next page and take a picture of that. You can continue this process till you have finished capturing whatever you want. You can proofread this document by downloading it as a Word document or any other format, and you can use this document. But however, this device is very expensive, unfortunately. Now let me tell you about the features of this device. This device has four primary features. The first one, as I mentioned, was the capture to read feature, was the capturing feature. The second one is the downloading feature. And the third one is the saving feature. The fourth one, you can increase and decrease the font size. You can add indentations to the documents and so on and so forth. Keyboard device helps you to do your work independently in a computer. Unfortunately, the price is 19,000 and many people are not able to afford it. But as you're not able to afford it, you can use Keyboard mobile app to do it. And now recently, Keyboard has released Keyboard Desk, which is a portal which you can use in your computer. You can go to the website keyboarddesk.tresellabs.com. After you go there, you can sign in and you can use Keyboard app for 15 days under trial version. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gavel, Saravan, for your toast. So I will deliver my evaluation to your host, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I will start off by evaluating your content, right? So the speech was centered as an app review, and the opening of your speech gave me a hook to hang on to. So it was about an app called Keyword, I guess. I think I didn't hear that right.
Keyboard.
Okay. Okay. So your opening was strong and you introduced yourself and your topic effectively, right? The body of your speech contained a bulk of information. So it was incredibly informative and it was a lot to take in at once. So it was somewhat overwhelming, but it's okay. I feel like it was an app review, right? So often I don't comment on the topic for a speech, but I feel like a person with your caliber deserves amazing topics to work on it, to be frank. Now let's talk about the body language throughout your speech. Now stagecraft is I feel like a very underrated aspect of speeches. Stagecraft is technically the technical work behind a speech, like the camera work and the lighting, the stage, But as an individual speaker, the stagecraft is all yours. It's all you. It's the way you talk. It's the way you express yourself. It's your emotions. It's the presence of mind. It's the eye contact. But so I feel like maybe that could have been improved. But yeah. And now let's move on to your tone. Okay. Your tone, I feel like, was it was very immaculate for a app review, right? Because it felt like you were reading a manual, which is not a bad thing. Your leadership style is that of a coach. You instruct, you guide, you sort of teach us about this app, right? So maybe you nailed it at that. So I really liked that. Now let's talk about the structure of your toast. It was structured meticulously. I felt like it was I feel like I have no notes for this. It was done well, right? Other than that, the only recommendation here I would like to give you is that I feel like if you're talking about an app, right, I feel like you didn't have to make it so impersonal. You could have given your anecdotes about the app, like how it helped you out, right? Give analogies about it, give quotes about it, like how technology just changed our lives in the past few years, right? Nobody could have ever thought about an app like this 20 years ago. So, and also contrast with the olden times and the new times, right? So I really liked. I would like you to work on this. Make it more personal. Make it connect with the audience, right? Because a speech is essentially something you are the giver to the audience, right? Yes. So give it your emotion, give it your passion. Other than that, I liked most of your speech, if not all. And I would like to pass on over this to the second evaluator, Toastmaster Matthew.
So yes, Ashwin, my dear,
Yes.
Wonderful job that you have done. Marvelous. It is clearly you have made the hard work, and it is evident in your speech that you have referred and you have a clear-cut idea, and that you have been truly dedicated to the process of creating a speech. Really wonderful, fabulous. When looking back to your speech, I must evaluate the first evaluator, because she have already hijacked every point that I had to say. So it's a very crystal clear evaluation that Madam Kushi have produced. So in fact, I have very lesser words to say. While looking into your speech, specifically the inference, the background when you say about Kibo, because maybe your audience will not be aware about the Kibo app, first of all. Secondly, when you speak about Kibo, you should try to give them an idea. Kibo originated in such a context, or Kibo is an app that can help you into a specific level for a particular utility. You're getting me now? They're like Kibo is used for reading and for scanning and for literally translating purposes. So when you speak about the app, you should first of all connect the audience to your speech. Why should they hear you? You should give them a point to listen you. This boy is going to deliver a speech, and he's going to give us some words, some ideas that are going to help us in the future, or some that are going to construct an idea about something that we already knew.
Yes, sir.
So that's an important point. Then secondly, your rhythm. You're a wonderful presenter. You're a wonderful presenter. Your journey from a presenter to an orator should be constructive. Your journey from a presenter does a lecture. In that way, as a coach, as an instructor, as a tutor, you're wonderful. You're doing the job 100%. But when you're considering a speech, when you're considering an oratory, that should be having some rhetoric. Your rhythm, because your rhythm was the same since your beginning to the end. That should not be the manner. When you consider a speech, that should have different rhythm, should be rhythmatic. You are having a constant rhythm, so consider changing that rhythm. Then secondly, you're bound up with the time is excellent, because you were managing your time in a very useful manner, and you had a very wonderful research in the background. So that clearly is exhibiting that you are a budding techie. So your identity is very much exposed and is very much made clear to the audience. That's a wonderful fact. So you are clearly exhibiting who you are. That's a nice fact. Let it go on. Let it bloom into a wonderful Ashwin the Sailor Man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your evaluation on my evaluation, Matthew, and also your evaluation of our previous speaker. Now I would like to invite the fourth Gavelier of the day, who's Aisha Fatima, and I would like to invite her on the stage. Aisha, are you present?
Yes.
Okay. I would like you to start your speech. Could you switch on your camera?
Yes. So a very good evening to everybody present here. Today, I would love to say a speech on Plastic Day, as yesterday was celebrated as Plastic Day. And we know every year, July 3rd is celebrated as Plastic Day. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Aisha Fatima, and I am a 5th grader in MES Indian School. Now, coming to our topic.
Plastic is an artificial polymer synthesized for multiple uses. Plastic has replaced the use of expensive metals like aluminum, iron, copper, etc. Synthetic plastic is required in the production of multiple products like toys, electronics, pipes, machines, etc. Plastic is used by all of humanity on a gigantic scale. The production and use of plastic have lowered the cost price of many products. The detrimental side to plastic has just dawned upon us. Due to the huge amount of plastic used on a daily basis, an enormous amount of plastic waste is produced every day. The toxic effects of plastic are so far-fetched that no biodiversity is plastic-free today. So we all should work our best for the use of plastic. We should decrease it. So I would like to end my speech by saying Happy Plastic Day, belated Plastic Day.
Oh, your speech was too short for me to write my whole evaluation, but I'll do it off the top of my head. Okay? So, so let's, yeah. But so I like that your speech was short and crisp, right? The timing, I feel like most speeches about environmental degradation just go on for hours and hours about how it's bad for you. But I feel like you summed up the points pretty quickly, and the tone you were using, it was so bold and effective. It gave me the impression that you were a seasoned orator, like you've been speaking for decades on the stage. So commendable effort for the voice modulation, right? Now speaking of your body language. So body language often contains three elements of which I can evaluate you on. The stagecraft, which is somewhat absent today because you're all giving our speeches from home. There is no stage as such. The gestures and the expression. Now, the gestures and expression, I would like you to work on, because most of the time your face was quite neutral. It didn't show much inflection. Inflection means a sudden change, which could, but I feel like the way you were, I feel like you could add a little bit of expression and gesture to your speeches to give it more, strength. Now, stagecraft, I feel like your camera was positioned well. It was, I feel like it was done. You had good eye contact throughout the speech. So I would give you a kudos on that. Now let's talk about the structure of your speech. Now the structure of your speech was, I can't give much comment on it because it was absolutely perfect. I would have no recommendations here. Okay. Now let's move on to the content. The content often includes the grammar, language, and any repetition if you had any. Now I would like you to. Now the content was it was timed well, right? And it also demonstrated a good presence of mind. Okay, so that was a good plus point for you. I feel like if you want to make a speech about plastic, right, make it connect with the audience. Say how we use, suppose this scale, right? So unknowingly, we just break it and throw it. But like, tell me about the detrimental impact of even the scale, and it would make me shiver, right? It would make me think, oh my God, what have I done? It would make me change, right? So give it a personal twist. Make it more anecdotal. Make it more relevant to you. To me, a polymer. If you say it's a polymer, I would be like, "Arey, ye to, if this is a chemistry class now," right? So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If you want to be a coach, you can do it. But if you want to connect with the audience, I feel like you have to use a personal twist. And other than that, I loved that you used a descriptive and scientific language, right? It gives your toast validity. It gave your toast, what to say. It gave your toast like a good scientific backing, right? No repetitions. Your grammar was immaculate. So content wise, you're doing very well, right? Except for the personal twist I told you to add, right? Other than that, your leadership style is that of a classic leader. You're like a president in the making. So I would love to hear more from you in the future, and I would pass this evaluation over to the second evaluator, Toastmaster Matthew.
Thank you.
So, my sweetheart, I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Why? You know why? Because
No.
I expected you to continue. I expect to hear the sweet voice for a bit more minutes. That's it. So, having a personal turn on that. So, in fact, you can continue, because when you are awarded time, it's an award. In fact, someone is giving you a value that, please, we expect something of an 8 minutes or a 9 minutes from you. That's in fact a great thing. So they are giving you an honor to speak. So you should be reflective onto that honor. You should be making use, and you should be making it productive. You should not leave it, and you should not make that honor leave to somebody else. That's the first term. And the thing that you reflected on plastic, excellent it was, in many ways. First of all, your usage of the vocabulary, it was very constructive, and the words that you selected was rhythmic and beautiful, which provided intensely to the aesthetics of the speech. Then also considering about the structure of the speech, that is a very enjoyable manner, because you were having a very high pitch, a very presidential tone, and a very interesting way of communication, and you really connected with the audience. In fact, that was like a speech delivered in the United Nations. It's having a very conventional attribute. Seems like a small Greta Thunberg. That's it. So nice it was. When reflecting on a few more points, first of all, the speech that you have delivered is the central part of a speech that you should have delivered. Means you should have a better introduction to the topic, as well as a better summary to the topic. And the context of celebrating the Plastic Day, I don't want to fill up the gaps in your speech. In fact, what I want to point out is that when you make up a speech about the Plastic Day, why is that celebrated? What consequences are really plastic having on? And what are the ways in which we can eradicate plastic? What are the substitutes, and what are the complements? What are the consequences of not having plastic? And also, plastic is not something that bad. In fact, people are having a very prejudiced view on that. In fact, without plastic, what will the humanity be doing? All such points should be dealt out. You are a very advanced speaker. So for you, it should be in a way that is meant to be. So obviously, I hope that it is clear, and my suggestions are also valuable. You're a very starry, celebrity type of beautiful orator. Really enjoyed, really was an entertaining toast. Thank you, and wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that evaluation, which I completely agree with. Aptly put. Now, I would like to welcome the fifth speaker of the day, who's Gavelier Dhwaj Dhani. Dhwaj, can I have you on here, please?
Am I audible?
Yes. Is this Dhwaj?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you switch on your camera?
Is it off?
Yeah.
Is it now started?
Yeah, you can start with your toast if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. So, my name is Dhwaj Dhani, and I am from Anand, Gujarat, and I study in TV Patel English School in 11th standard. So, today's topic for my toast is, how do I study with help of assistive technology? So whenever you will see me giving a toast, you will see that I often give my own examples that how I feel. So basically today also I will give my experiences about the assistive technology which is used by me. So first of all, when I was in the first standard, I'm talking about 2009, 10, 11. So at that time, I don't know about the screen reader or computer can be used by blind people. So I am a partially blind one. So I need large text so I can read it. So I used to use books with the large print and I read from that. And that time I don't have writer. So I used to write my exams at my own. With I used to ask the teacher that where to write the answer. She used to read the question for me and she will tell me that you need to write answer here and I will write at my own. Then I met to my teachers from the NAB Anand. So she gave me an idea that you can use a writer during your exams. So from the third standard, the school persons gave me writer. Basically, writer was the teacher from the junior KG or a proxy teacher who generally is just sitting over there. So he or she will dictate the question for me and then I will tell him or her the answer and they will write. Then new part came in my life, the recording. Recording thing was told to my mom that you can record the audio because before that she will read every time whenever I need to read something, then she will dictate it for me and then I used to remember or she would ask me the questions that such chapter is there, so she will ask me the question and then I will tell the answer and I will remember. But then I got to know about recording things. So then I started to use the Sony Soundforge and till date my mom records all the lessons question answers and then I will read it because when my mom used to read for me then she need to spend most of the time for me. So I told her that please you just record it for me and then for whole year you just need to confirm with me that all the answers and everything is proper for me or not. Then you need to record once and then I will read it whole year. So like that my life started to change. And then as our homiers are told, book share. So my teacher, the teachers which help us from they are from the government, the blind teachers. So she told me that you can open an account in Bookshare and you can download books. So in 2019, she gave me some ebooks. So I started reading from that as well. And like that, my whole life in 2010 or 11, and you can see my life in 2021. The difference is a lot. So you can use assistive technology is the base thing. As per me, you can think that if my mom will read all the chapters and everything for me in the 10th standard and the 11th standard, then you can think that whole day she need to give to me. She can't even sleep in the afternoon for an hour. But the technology helped my mom and me because it saves time and it gives me a lot of confidence that if I will read this thing 2 or 3 times, then I will, and then my mom asks, "You are okay with it?" I will tell, "Yes, I'm okay. You need not to spend your time to just make me everything learn. I will, if I have some confidence loss, then I will go and listen the recording again." And my mom also felt very good with this assistive technology. So I really thank everyone or the Bookshare and everyone that they are going ahead in this assistive technology, and our Chakshumathi is one of the best organizations doing work for the print disabled people. So I would like to thank Ram sir as well. So with this idea of today, I would end my speech here. Thank you. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dvaj, for your amazing speech. I see you have worked on your shortcomings. Like the last speech I heard from you, and this is a vast difference, to be honest, and for the better. Okay. So, Dvaj, you gave a speech on how you study with assistive technology in the COVID times, right? It was, it, okay, let's talk about the content first, right? So, you had the content dedicated to storytelling, dedicated to anecdotes about your life. And I like that you haven't changed that about your speeches, right? So it had a beautiful personal backdrop, it was very relevant to your life. It gave an authentic spin to it, right? The speech as a whole was very authentic, very felt true to yourself. And it was, so I like that, right? Now let's talk about the structure of your speech. It was structured like it was a conversation with a friend. You were telling him about how assistive technology has changed the way we learn, and how it has helped you, and it is helping millions of kids in the world, right? And speaking about the body of your speech, it was lovely. I have no arguments about this. This is perfect, right? And the ending was marked with gratitude, which I always appreciate. It's always a great way to end a speech. So kudos on that. Speaking of the body language, your body language was classically perfect. Your shoulders were straight, your head was, held high. But we could only build on this, right? You could use your gestures, you could use your expressions, you know, use like move around your face, like give it a human touch. Just don't like stay there like a robot. Just move a little, go with the flow with your speech. Okay. Now let's talk about the voice. The pacing could be amped up, like the tempo could be set a bit higher. You know what I mean? Speak quicker. And other than that, you had a nice loudness to your voice, which I can appreciate, because sometimes you can barely hear a person. You're like, how am I supposed to evaluate this now? So good loudness, loved it, right? Now your leadership style is one of a presenter. I feel like you just present everything in such a starry way. The way you lived your life, it was very personal, authentic. So you are a presenter at heart, I feel like. But you should remove a bit of stoicness from your body language. That could curb your stoicness, and that could help you, truly win the hearts of many with public speaking. And as a narrator, you are an engineer of your stage. And I can see that you have designed your stage beautifully. I love the wall behind you. I love the camera setting. It's perfect. And I don't have much recommendations now. I would like to pass over this evaluation to the second evaluator, Toastmaster Matthew.
Yeah, while listening to the toast that Dvaj produced today, it reminds me of Elon Musk. I don't know why. Maybe he's also a blooming techie, and also that Dvaj is having a very similar voice and similar inflation that is very equivalent to Elon Musk. That's nice. So always praying and wishing you all the very best to become one of the world's billionaire, as Elon Musk is today. When looking into your speech, first of all, the impression that you make before your speech. Actually, it is not a good manners in the Toastmasters thing, not only to judge, to all of the students who have made the toast today. It is not a good manners to discuss something before your speech. You should be having a clear idea. You should be having a better understanding how your mic works and how your camera works. It's not a convention of the Toastmasters meet to look into the camera perfection and audio stability of a candidate. So you should be really strict about that. And also, when you ask help, because It's not a privilege that you can use. It's not a parliamentary privilege that you can come and ask about your camera and the mic. So when you are asking about that, it should be really polite. It should be really in a way that you convince the audience, that the audience should feel like that they got an opportunity to listen to your words much more better, much more in a predecessing way. So you should make it clear. Then the second thing, the repetition of the word then. You were repeating it too much. The emphasis is not that amazing. It should be cut off. Don't feel it too critic, because we expect a lot from Dwaj. When you recite a greater poem, a greater epic from your own life, that in becoming a person of the mainstream society today, to raise your voice in front of a Toastmasters club, on the contrast of all the success that you have achieved in your way due to heavy hard work, because in a normal society, you are taking double of the hard work that a normal person has. So in fact, that is too reflecting, too anecdotal, and too constructive. But if you consider these points, if you can reflect on, if you can emphasize on your ambition to become a good orator, you can do that too. Because a good leader always not only has a way of coming up, because a good leader, definitely he constructs himself up and he proves to the society that I am born to be, I am living to be, and I will die to be myself. That's the great message a leader always explicitly gives to the society. That's the value. And really, Mr. Dwaj is having it. Mr. Dwaj is clearly excruciating that message to the society. But be more constructive, because we expect more from your part, and use your tone in a different manner, change your rhythm, and stop repetitive words like so and then. Also considering your speech, like you should be more futuristic. When speaking about yourself, I have come all this way until now, and I have achieved all these things until then. And then what are you going to do into the future? How do you want to contribute that? How is your experience in gaining all these things going to help all the other people who are sharing your similar experiences? So it can be much more better, and we expect that from your part. Up to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the evaluation, Toastmaster Matthew. Now we are moving on to the sixth and final speaker of the day, who's Gavelier Aftab Bashir. May I have him on the stage, please? Aftab? Aftab, it's your speech time. Come on. I see he's on the list, but I think he's not hearing us.
Sabdab there?
Aftab Bashir, right?
Yeah. I think he may have some technical trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So both of the evaluators and the Toastmaster of the day, you both have done excellent job. See, to all the toasters, okay, the major idea behind this club is to improve your speech or improve your oratorship. So whatever we are giving as evaluation, you have to take it in a very positive manner and to work upon the comments. Okay, so now from this club meeting onwards, in every meeting, we'll be spending some time to learn how to speak. So today, Toastmaster Matthew Abraham is going to talk to you all about how you can become a good speaker. Matthew, over to you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Toastmasters. Today, I'm very much privileged to talk to you guys on a very interesting topic that is the core soul of this very meeting itself, how to become a cool orator in your life. So before I move into my topic, as the co-evaluator of today, I must announce my points. I mean the personal grades to the candidates. So first of all, it's to Kritkeria, I may suggest a big 6 out of 10. Then to the second speaker, Hashmeta, he goes with a 5 out of 10. And thirdly, with Ashwin had a nice job, so he goes with a 7 out of 10. Then when it comes to Aisha, she goes with the incredible 8 out of 10. And for Dwaj, again, it's a 7 out of 10. So hope my points are clear. And today I had a very great distinguished honor to be with you people. Unfortunately, I'm having a great network trouble, due to which I can't turn on my camera. I'm very much disappointed in that, because I just want you guys to see I was in fact prepared for my body gestures and body language, in fact. Let it go. So as we were discussing, Dr. Homeo Mobji, through his great radiant words, gave us the great message that today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. So the emphasis, readers and leaders, what's the great link in between them? Because you should have experience and you should listen to the experienced ones to have a life in a good experience. Why you read is important to construct your knowledge base, to construct the database which you handle the daily affairs of your life. It is very different when you were a kid, when you were 6 or 5 or 7 years old, and today when you are 18 or when you are 20 or when you are 25 or above that, when you deal with your life, it's much different. So each year, the database that your brain receives change potentially. So similar as that is the very concept of creative and persuasive oratory. You know, the word oratory comes from oratoria, that means the ability to use good words that are beautiful words in a very awesome manner. You know, the first orators in the world was the Greeks, as you might know them. So we speak of all the great Greek philosophers, Greek speakers. Even the idea of Toastmaster derives from the Greek history, the Greek convention, because they used to unite together, and in their congress, in their convention, they used to speak together by sharing a cup of wine. So toast mainly means sitting together and having a cup of wine, which today have become the biggest oratory club in the world. So first of all, you should be thriving to become a leader. Secondly, to become a leader, you should be having rich and proficient experience that can read your life as well as the life of others, that can solve the problem. Especially to become the part of the solution, you should have nice and understanding and conspirating good experiences. That experiences are the biggest quality of a leader. Leadership experience is another experience which will improve your leadership quality, as well as that. So having your experience and great ignition that you're having in between yourself, that the great energy that you have inside you, the voice of your mind that tells you to serve the society and the world, you should be able to convince. You should be able to convince. You should be able to communicate. You should be able to make others understand what you're about to do. That is the thing what we want to proliferate. When looking at great people like Martin Luther King, he said that I have a dream. He said that I have a dream. When people across the world, when they listen to his words, or where they listen to the word, I have a dream, automatically Martin Luther King comes into the very big picture. Why? Because that is rhetoric. And when you look at Barack Obama, the great US president, when you look at him, he was not chosen to become a great presidential candidate. He was not the representative of the Democratic Party to become the US president. You'll be wondering, what am I saying? A person who became the president for twice, for 2 terms, he was not meant to become a president. Yes, it's true. Because Barack Obama was the supporting candidate of the Democratic Party representative to become the president. So the presidential candidate will be having a few supporting candidates in the United States. That's their convention. So when Barack Obama came to the floor and when he started his speech, he just infiltrated, he just shooted down every audience in between. In every chair, after a few minutes, after a few seconds, every chair of the hall was having a fan in it. That's the great ability of rhetoric. Rhetoric means your ability to use your constructive words into a persuasive speech. So Barack Obama just said, yes, we can. Yes, we can. The people started reflecting on, the people started repeating his words. Yes, we can. So Barack Obama will continue to say a few sentences about the American history, and then he will say the phrase, yes, we can. The people will repeat it. Then after saying a few words about the American economy, he'll just say, yes, we can. So the people will start repeating it. Then saying a few words after his career and his ambition to become the president and all the things that he have done as a president, he'll say the very phrase, yes, we can. So the people will start repeating it. What does it mean? That the people started constructing a great link in between him, I mean the speaker, and the audience. So why should I listen to you is a very important point. Why should I listen to you? Because when Matthew is giving a discourse into the Toastmasters club, why should you people listen to me? That's a very important point. In fact, that should be reflecting on something that can help you into your future. Even there are simple speakers like our own Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and our own father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. All these people, even people like Nelson Mandela, they used to speak in a very low pitch, a very low volume, in a very simple, a very constructive manner. But the ideals, the experience that they had, and the words they choose were so powerful to lead an audience mad, to lead an audience free, to lead an audience to the highest peaks of their ambition. And that is what have given freedom to India. That is what had given freedom to South Africa. That is what had defeated the great colonization of the Great Britain. So words are powerful. When you choose your words, be wise. Be wise. So yes, rhetoric and the choice of words are two main points to look on, and the simplicity of your speech. Because when Jawaharlal Nehru delivered his discourses, it was full plunged in vocabulary. And when we look at people like Dr. Shashi Tharoor or great speakers like Kapil Sibal or someone like Arun Jaitley, they delivered the speech in a plunging vocabulary, flourishing and filling vocabulary. Why? Because the intellect, the high capacity they had in between them, it was clearly made into the people. But tens and thousands of people joined together just to listen to their words. And they stood for the cause, for what their leaders stood for. That should be the speech. That should be the idea. That should be the love and the affection that the leaders infiltrate and gift into the society. So you should be giving a value. That's the point. You should be giving a vision. You should be giving an idea, an innovation that can make the lives of hundreds and thousands of people in the future better. Because it is not a good thing to talk about the chemistry behind plastic or machine guns and to deliver a discourse on such a topic in Somalia or Nigeria. When you look at the United States, it's not a good thing to deliver a very good toast on cultural diversity and on conventional communalism in the United States. So the context, the nature and the peculiarity of your audience is a very important thing. Who you are speaking to and why should they listen to you? That link, that love, that passion. Because when I speak to you, I am dreaming of a blooming 100 Toastmasters after 5 years. I just want to see that Chakshumathi, along with Benitech, have produced at least 100 beautiful orators who span the world. That is my dream. And for that cause, I have come here and is delivering my energy and is delivering my idea with of love and of high aspiration, high voltage energy with you guys. So in fact, that should be the ambition that should drive us. And it should be in the way that you create a link and you provide a contributory effort to the entire humanity. Because when I'm speaking to Toastmasters, you should not feel to someone else that it does not relate to me. Any man or woman or child or old man, anywhere, student or professional, anything that might be, when they listen to some words, that should have some sort of a relation or some sort of a thing to replicate. When they look into my pitch, when they look into my pose, and when they look into my tone and my great leadership quality, all such things should be and can be and may be copied, may be imitated, may be taken into their own lives and can be used in a very productive manner around the world. So this is a great humanitarian effort that we are doing. Toastmasters by Chakshumathi is not something that is giving you an opportunity to make up a mockery speech and then left it out. In fact, we are creating a history by delivering energy and observation and skill into your souls. And that potence will guide your future into a much more communicable human being. That's the thing that we want to communicate with you guys. In fact, when you become the CEO of some company tomorrow, when you become the chief presenter or the director of some organization tomorrow, you should be able to communicate. And the people who work with you, who stay for your values, should understand, should share the value with you. So that's the ideal which Toastmasters stands for, and we'll be having much more better sessions tomorrow. Tomorrow means into the bright future. And this is all. My two, I am not such an orator or a great public speaker, a persuasive speaker to guide you guys. In fact, I am just giving you my own observation, my own humble suggestions, and my own humble notations that I belong to me, and I consider that as a dear to me. That's it. So, as Mark Antony, one of the greatest orators, said, an ambition should be made of stern and stuff. So that's it, Toastmasters. All the very best. Let us see a very bright, igniting, and a blasting, exploding future. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Matthew. I think every Toastmasters and Gaveliers attending today's club meeting might got some interesting, igniting facts from Matthew's speech. We want to see this as a reflection in the coming club meetings. Our next club meeting will be on 18th of July, the Sunday after the coming Sunday. Okay, the third Sunday of July. So we'll meet again at 3 o'clock. But on the next Toastmasters and Gavel Club meeting, I am giving you one particular topic to work on and come and deliver a beautiful toast. I was thinking about giving you a word called passion. But when Matthew ended the speech with ambition, I think we'll use the word ambition. So you can build a speech from the word ambition. Ambition from what? Ambition from anything. Ambition of you, ambition of the nation, ambition of the world, or anything but ambition. Take the word ambition and work on a speech and deliver a beautiful toast. Every one of you should deliver a toast, and the toast can be 5 minutes in length, not 8 minutes, because 8 minutes we won't be able to accommodate everybody to talk. Okay, so 5 minutes. I really wish to hear every one of you in the club, and I wish to hear from you on ambition, word called ambition. Okay.
And adding to that,
talk. Yeah, please add.
Yes, sir. Adding to that, let me seek an opportunity to be privileged as the next Toastmaster. Will I be granted?
Yes, yes, you're the next Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Every time I'll be giving chances to different people. Today you came a bit late, otherwise you could have been the Toastmaster.
Today's Toastmaster also did a very wonderful job.
Yeah,
And
she is our very budding Gavelier Toastmaster.
She's in fact hijacking all those points what I have to deliver. In fact, her observations are very much 100%. So I don't have something to add into it. I'm very much struggling.
Very good, very. That is what happens when someone stands in the second. Okay, great. So thank you all for participating today. So next Toastmaster and Gavel Club meeting will be on 18th of July at 3 p.m. So see you all. Stay safe, stay home, and read a lot. Now you have a beautiful word called ambition to read. More things to read. Read, build, and come with an excellent speech. Excellent speech from your heart. Okay? So see you all and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a great time. Okay, I'll log out now. Thank you for everyone for your speeches.